yesterday. And I got up, took a shower, and like in the shower, I had no energy.
I know.
Okay.
Good for you. Yeah, our son started school in June, and he came home within 2 days with a runny nose, and we were sick for like 3 weeks in our house. And I'm like, I don't know what it was, but just the same thing, just tired and no energy and a cough. And I was like, oh my goodness, please don't keep this up because I can't handle being sick all the time.
Was he your first?
One and only. He's wonderful, but
Good.
one's good.
Yeah. Oh, it is 9 o'clock, isn't it? I thought I was much earlier.
I might have a
All right. Good morning, everybody. Today's meeting of the Neighborhood and Affordable Housing Advisory Board is called to order on July 8th, 2025. Welcome, everybody. Excuse me. Agendas of today's meeting are on the wall at the entrance to the chambers. Please remember to turn off your cell phones. To ensure a complete record of the board's actions, we ask that any individual wishing to speak clearly state your name, spell your last name for the clerk. Before we do a roll call, I would like to introduce a new board member. Kelly Batsford is a behavioral health advocate with Hope Villages of America. Ms. Batsford, please take a moment to tell us about yourself.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. I am born and raised Floridian here in Clearwater, actually. So being part of this board is very important to me just because I've lived here my entire life. As you mentioned, I do work at Hope Villages as a behavioral health advocate. I recently took on the role of a director role, so that's going to be changing for me. But I work, very closely with a lot of the women in the community that face homelessness and domestic violence.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
And I will ask the remaining board members to introduce themselves and identify the fields they each represent.
Good morning. I'm Christine Bond. I'm an advocate for the homeless, and I'm with St. Vincent de Paul.
Linda Byers, and I am a lifelong resident of the city of Clearwater.
Good morning, Sharisa Doty, Clearwater Housing Authority, Affordable Housing.
And I'm Robin Feel, your board chair, and I represent residential lending as it relates to affordable housing. Excuse me. Before we get any further into the meeting, I would like to recognize that we have new staff today. Alfred Battle is the city's assistant city manager.
Yeah, I know he wanted to join. I'm not sure if he is going to be able to this morning, but
Okay.
but I'm hopeful that you all get to meet him soon.
Great. Our first order of business is to approve the minutes of the board's May 13th, 2025 meeting. May I have a motion to approve item 2.1?
I move approval.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? Minutes are approved. Item 3 is citizens to be heard regarding items not on the agenda. Is there anyone here to speak to items not on today's agenda? If so, please step to the podium, state your name, and spell your last name for the record. You will have 3 minutes to speak on a subject that is not on today's agenda. Seeing no one come forward, do we have any e-comments? We will move on to the next item. Item 4.1, recommend City Council approve the adoption of the City of Clearwater's 5-year consolidated plan and fiscal year 2025-2026 annual action plan, which is the first action plan of the new 25-26 through 29-30 consolidated plan, to implement the goals and objectives set forth in the consolidated plan, and to authorize the appropriate officials to enter into agreements with HUD and organizations approved for funding, together with authorization to execute administrative adjustments to the same as needed. Danya Perez will present this item.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Danya Perez, P-E-R-E-Z. So thank you for joining us today. This presentation will provide an overview of the city's 2025-2029 consolidated plan and the 2025-2026 action plan, which is our new 5-year strategic planning cycle. So we'll start off with the timeline. So we begin this process in early 2025 with community outreach and public participation. From mid-February through mid-March, we open our notice of funding availability and accept applications. Strategic goal settings, then there's a strategic goal settings. The application presentation to NAHAM and technical review meetings occurred in March and April, followed by public hearings in May and July. Then we have a 30-day public commitment period, begins in June, with final adoption of the city council scheduled for, as you're aware, August 4th. We are here to discuss the plan and make recommendations for council. Our submission to HUD is due on August 15th, and then the new program year begins on August 1st of 2025.
October 1st.
October 1st of 2025. Thank you. So our available funding, we have for our fiscal year 25-26, we estimated a total of over 1.8 million in CDBG funds and over 5.4 million in home funds. This includes prior year's entitlement and program income carryover. Our anticipated new program year allocations and resources from our revolving loan funds for both housing and economic developments. Our federal funds budget totals $7,345,324.12. I had to write those numbers down. Then our next one. So our first project, these are our projects for our public facilities that we've partnered up with a couple of nonprofits. We have Hope Villages. They're going to go ahead and do an upgrade on their food storage, which includes electrical upgrades and forklift storage. Then we have Directions for Living, and their upgrades include stairwells and door upgrades. They're gonna replace their doors and work on their stairwells, make it safer. Then we have St. Vincent de Paul. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you the amount. So Hope Village is $85,000. Directions for Living is $191,340. Then St. Vincent de Paul is $105,000, and they're going to be paving their lot, the parking lot, dry storage, and air conditioning. And Maddie Williams is going to be $74,134, and they're going to be working on a permanent generator. So for emergencies, so they're going to be working on, like, if there's a disaster, hurricane, just to keep everything going when the lights are off, so they can continue servicing and feeding the community.
So Danya, you realize those numbers are reversed?
They were reversed and I had to unreverse them. So now, wait, how much was yours?
105.
105? Yep, 105 for you. Yes, they're reversed on the
On the
slide.
PowerPoint,
I have to
they're
fix them,
reversed.
yeah. Sorry, guys. So
Just
then,
making sure the minutes say it right.
yes, thank you.
Well, she said the numbers correctly, the
Yeah.
slide was wrong.
The slide, yeah. Yeah, we figured out last minute. I was like, oh, man, okay. So then we have a to be determined project for public facilities up to $85,400, and that's gonna be first come, first served basis. These are our continuation, the selected partners for our public service projects. We have 6 activities. So we have Hope Villages of America. They have a senior wellness pantry, and we're going to be, providing food to the seniors. We have Interculture Advocate, and they're going to be doing a project a little different than they did have in the past, victim advocacy and support service programs. Then we have West Care, Gulf Coast, Florida, and they're going to be working on their turning point, which is preventing and reducing homelessness in the area. They will all the public services will receive the same amount. They're all going to receive $23,147 is what they were going to be awarded for. Hopefully. Okay, public service continue. Then we have Gulf Coast Legal Services. They also receive, everyone's going to receive $23,147, and they provide housing legal services, as everyone's aware of. Then we have Metropolitan Ministries. They'll be working towards their Neighborhood Hope program. And Pinellas Opportunity Council, they're going to be providing they have an emergency assistance program. Now we're going to move forward with our economic development. So in economic development, we're providing $20,000 for Prospera, Hispanic Business Initiative. So basically, they provide technical assistance to 80% and below Hispanic businesses, and they do a good job. Then we have Upward. Upward, they're going to be receiving $19,600, and they're also going to be helping childcare micro enterprise providers through their Boost program. And we have, under economic and development, we have our facade improvement program, and we have a combination of funds, our revolving loan fund under ED, and then our CDBG entitlement, and that's going to be about $406,875, and that's also based on first come, first served basis. And for the businesses, it's to help like the businesses within our LMA maps, low, medium income areas. Now we're going to discuss our public services that are related to our SHIP funds, and these are our housing counseling partners. So we have, as many of you are familiar with them, we have Clearwater Neighborhood Housing Services. They'll be receiving up to $50,000, and Tampa Bay Community Development Corporation $10,000, and they will both be providing homeownership education, which is the 8-hour homeownership education class, and the one-on-one counseling for Clearwater residents. In addition to, both agencies will be working on our purchase assistance program for loan processing, and for each successful loan closed, they will receive $1,650. Then, of course, to be able to make everything run smoothly and make sure that we're in compliance and everything is delivered with a timely manner, we dedicate funding from CDGV and home and estimated for, okay, I'll do this number, $185,175.12 for CDBG, and home $38,322.61, and this is for the administration. So this is a quick snapshot of our housing and what we are estimating to spend our funds on, and what categories that we're going to be working towards. So the majority of the funding supports housing strategies, over $3.7 million from home and revolving loan funds, and CDBG funds will support rental housing creation and prevention. Nearly $1.25 million is allocated for owner-occupied housing inventory improvements. $500,000 is dedicated to our purchase assistance program, with an additional $250,000 from SHIP. $285,599 will support tenant-based rental assistance, which is TBRA. $57,486 is allocated for community housing development organization under revolving loan funds. This reflects our ongoing community to housing stability and affordability within the city of Clearwater. Then we have removal of slum and blight. So we are allocating $68,052 for acquisition and demolition of our properties to eliminate slum and blight, further supporting neighborhood revitalization efforts. And this concludes our presentation for 2025-29 Consolidated Plan and 2025-26 Annual Action Plan. Thank you for attending. Do you have any questions?
How is that slum and blight funding used? 68,000 doesn't seem like a lot. What is that applied to?
It's kind of like, Dylan, you want to take it over? I mean, I can answer it, but, it's best if he does.
So in the past, what we've done is if a property obviously is deemed slum and blight and a developer comes to us to acquire that property and demolish it, then we can pay either for the acquisition and or for the demolition of that property. So I think Ingman, we have a property with Tampa Bay Neighborhood Housing Services. They acquired a property and demoed it. I believe it's on Ingman Street, and they're working to permit a new build there now. The 68,000, the reason why we reduced it down, we felt that due to the lack of inventory, it just didn't seem, with slum and blight, there just aren't that many smaller properties that are going to be demolished. And so we assumed that we'd better spend elsewhere, but we still wanted a budget to do maybe one.
Yeah. And we're also limited in the slum and blight area, so it can't be within the whole city limits of Clearwater. It has to be our designated slum and blight area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Excuse me, do they have to rebuild and affordable? After the house is demolished and they're rebuilding, do they have to make that home available to an income eligible buyer?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other questions? No? Okay. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks.
Are there any more comments or questions from the board? Okay. Does anyone from the public wish to comment on this item? Do we have any e-comments? Okay. Hearing no further public comment, may I have a motion to approve?
Move approval.
Do I have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Director's report. Mr. Mayu, do you have something to tell us?
I just have a few things. So the first thing is maybe 2 months ago, you approved a recommendation to council for us to adjust our home ARP strategy. That has been approved, and we are releasing the notice of funding availability tomorrow. So hopefully we get some good applications over the next 30 days. Beyond that, some really good news, something I'm really proud of. Carrie's here. She worked extremely hard on it. She's kind of our in-house underwriter, and she absolutely killed it. Indigo Apartments closed 2 weeks ago, and so the acquisition, that will revert that building back to income restricted. The whole thing will be under 80%. There's a good amount of 30s and 50s in there as well. And so, yeah, like I said, that closed a few weeks ago. Now, over the next year, it's a 12-month lead time. They will be rehabbing the building and then, shifting out any individual that doesn't qualify under the income restrictions. Per the URA, it's federal law, the developer will have to assist those residents who no longer qualify to move to a new location. Should there be a cost difference, the developer will have to pick that up. But really great news. It's a big win for Clearwater. 208 units is, I want to say, 7 or 8% increase to our overall affordable inventory. So really proud of that one. And that's all I got.
If I could piggyback on that, if anyone, for those people who don't know, Indigo Apartments was originally low to moderate income,
Yes.
and then a few years ago was purchased by a developer and became market rate and is now going back
Yeah.
to LMI.
Yeah.
So it's wonderful.
Really excited, and they're going to harden the building. They're going to add some safety upgrades to it. The elevators are really bad and old, so those are going to be redone. They're going to put hurricane windows in the building. So it's a pretty prominent building, right, coming right off the beach, or even really going toward the beach. You see it from, all the way from Gulf to Bay, really. So I'm excited to see that kind of transform. And it'll be a great place for people to live at any income level, so.
What's the address again, did you say?
I think it's 801 Chestnut.
Chestnut. Okay.
Yeah, Chestnut and Myrtle.
Good job.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Do any board members have any final words before we adjourn? This is quick.
I do. On June 28th, we celebrated the Hope Expo at Raymond James, and it was well attended. I understand there were 260 potential first-time homebuyers there that were receiving the 8-hour class. So thanks and appreciation to Raymond James for offering the facility. I can't remember if it's been 30 years or 35 years at the Hope Expo. Terry, maybe you know how long they've been. It's been quite a while. 34 years. And every year it just gets better and better, and we have a lot of participating supporters. And it was, Robin was there, excuse me, I was there, joining the staff, the city staff at Clearwater. And it was a great event, and I wanted to mention that. So moving forward, I know they published that in the Sunshine Line, which is a notice in the utility statements, to make people aware of it, but people come from all over the county, and the participating entitlement communities, of course, are Pinellas County, Largo, Clearwater, and St. Petersburg. They were all there to offer their assistance programs for purchase assistance. I just wanted to mention that.
This concludes our business for the day. Our next NAHAB meeting is scheduled for August 12th of 2025. Thank you, everyone. The meeting is adjourned.